Hey guys. Okay guys, so where I'm at right now, I'm just looking at my data trade setup. There's not an awful lot of volume at the moment. Obviously we're in the weekends, but if it enters these zones, I could be interested in either a long or a short. What I would say, it's also a small area here I'd also be interested in. I don't want to make that right. Yeah. I'd also be interested in a buy if we come down to this zone. Relative tight stop loss, so you don't want to go nuts. But I don't anticipate a lot of volume coming in, so these are more scalping entries. So just kind of sitting waiting. Just want to have a little look at book map to see what relevant areas we have. You can see we've had a nice little push to the upside there. So kind of looking at that 22,420 area. That's around what, 414 Bitcoin limit orders above that. Let's see, let me just have a quick check. Yeah, it's where the main liquidity, somewhere around that 22,420. I want to see what that reaction is like. So if I just hop back over to my chart a second, so let's just hop over to Excel charts, so we can see 22,420, 22,420. Yeah, it's right in that order block zone there, isn't it? So I think that would be a nice place to potentially look at a little short from. It would clear the liquidity above here, and then you would see a nice little reversal there. So let's just double check that one more time. Let's have a look. So yeah, 22,420, about 400 Bitcoin, a little bit more down below, but that would be right in that order block zone, wouldn't it? So I'll be keen to look at that. Yeah, looks good. So now, what I'm probably going to do is just wait, sit, and then I'll do a market order if we look like we're going to enter that zone. But I do like that. That's that 22,420. That puts us around here, right in the center of the order block. It would essentially mitigate that. I'd be very interested in the supply zone. If we break above this liquidity line here, then I'd also be very much interested in a short. So we shall see. But yeah, just so you understand what I've done here. So if I take this off, right, you can see just going through this one by one, just so you get a sense on kind of my methodology here. So when you first approach this is what we're seeing. What I want to try to do is identify the zones that I would classify as liquidity. So you know there's going to be stop losses. You also know that you're going to have people aping into certain orders because let's say that if they are a breakout trader, they would be anticipating this area specifically would be, pushed to the upside, and so they would commit funds to the trade. So what we're looking for is reversals. So again, I've mapped this one out. This is kind of an equal low here. You see that both or a double bottom, but we've had a strong rejection right at this level again at this bottom point. We then look at the liquidity line below here. This is the kind of pivot low we came to. Just keep my eyes on there in case you want to see, but it's the weekend, right? So I'm not anticipating too much by way of say liquidity. So other thing I want to do is I just kind of, the eyes are drawn to this market maker based trend line. So we're just kind of identifying that, because if we want to break below here, that would be another potential idea for a reversal. And then of course mapping out order block. This is an order block simply because we've got a nice big red engulfing candle. This is on the 1 hour time frame. Here it's not actually an order block on lower time frames, but on the 1 hour it certainly is. So we want to capture that. Obviously it would be a sell side because you would want to short. Next one we've got is another order block here, again engulfing candle on the body. So we're just mapping this zone out as another area where right now it's untapped, so that means we haven't yet tested this order block, and we haven't tested this order block. Usually at least on the first test you normally get some sort of a reaction. So in terms of kind of a sniper entry, wanting to get in and get out, you know, you're looking for a little bit of a sweep here, take out some of the liquidity there, maybe a push back down, see how we react to this kind of diagonal line to the upside, and then see how we see whether we want to take out the liquidity to the buy side. And then we map out our supply zones. So these are the kind of the recent highs, so where we'd expect to see a reversal or come up, take some of the liquidity, and then yeah, get a lot of aping in, a lot of FOMO in, and that's usually what you tend to see. Of course we have a demand zone here to the opposite, so we want to see that. And then just this again, this is just that area where I think we'd probably want to come and take some liquidity if we come down here. So lots of different ideas, lots of areas where I'm keen to take a trade. The setup is pretty low key at the moment. There's nothing too much going on, and we just kind of sit and wait. So let's see what happens. What's these look like on the 15-minute? I hate trading on weekends. Getting ready for the long gear, guys, if we break into this. Do you want to come down, baby? Let's just bring that there a little bit, innit? Still seeing no rejection yet. Not much volume neither really right now. Price still pushing down, but not significant enough. Lots of big imbalances on this delta here, you can see. Come on, Bitcoin, for fuck's sake, what are you doing? Are you just going to stay there? This is the boring side of trading. See, now back up a little bit. But look, you know, I'll be very interested in a short if we come back to test this area here. Put an order block. I'd be even more interested in a zone here. Does look like we're obviously trending upwards from the move down. So we'll see. Looks like it wants to come back down again. I think you'd say on that though, is we are starting to come into a triangle. So now it's about where is most volume being trapped. Well, you'd see, it's difficult to know on a weekend really, if we're honest, but you've got trapped liquidity here. You can see from this huge candle here, so it's more. So you've definitely got more liquidity trapped to the downside than to the upside, which usually means a breakdown to the downside is more possible. So we shall see. But this for me puts more emphasis on the fact that this order block here will probably become a tapped order block where we'll come up, grab liquidity, and then push back down again. Simply because the buy side order block is just further away. And when you're making a case for where price can go, you know, you want to kind of look for path of least resistance, at least sometimes, or most of the time. So I'm going to put a limit order. I'm going to scale it from here, which is 22. I'm going to go 22. Well, we know 22,420. If we just go back to bookmap a second, you can see 22,410 actually is where the liquidity is. At least most orders are sitting on the book. Yeah, you can see that. So 22,410. Let's go. Let's have a look at that. So I think what I'll do, I'm going to put a limit order, a short on in that zone, right? $22,405, because usually you sometimes just stop short of that liquidity, but 22,405, yeah, would just put us in that zone. 22,405. What's my leverage? Depends. I do like that zone. I definitely like that zone, but I don't know what I'm at right now. Where we are, I'm just looking for where the price wants to go to. As I say, we've built a few of these market maker constructions, because you can see we are starting to build. We've got a couple of data points that I like to see. So we've got number one here. I've got another couple of data points here, so your eyes naturally draw to this this construction here. And then we've got, of course, a bit further down, got a data point 1, data point 2. So we are building a bit of a symmetrical triangle. So again, just looking for where the most volume's being played. Well, you could probably say we've got a nice high volume candle here and here. So I'm anticipating that we're building more volume to the bottom side of the symmetrical triangle. So the main break would probably come to the downside. However, we've got a 1 hour order block up at the sell side order block up in this zone. So I think my thesis on this will be that we'll break into that order block there, take the liquidity, and then head back down. So I'm just waiting to see how we react to the zone. We are coming quite close to the apex. Apex, I didn't mean that, but I'll have it anyway. So we shall see. Hello. VR Beast. I don't know why that said 47. I'm reading that. Are you guys trading today? Anyone trading currently? You guys looking at setups? BTC, ETH, what are you looking at? Do you want me to have a look at ETH? Give me a shout, let me know. This is the boring side of trading on the weekend, really. There's just not much activity. But I've got an order, just so you know, a limit order in this order block zone here. I think if I look at where the liquidity lies, let's just say, you can see here on Bookmap, round about that 22,410. You've got about 400 Bitcoin there. So that lands us nicely where this order block is here, and that's a 1 hour. That's a 1 hour order block here. So this zone, if I just go to the 1 hour, you can see. So just zoom across here. You can see that we nicely kind of get in this zone. So based on the fact that we've got a little bit of liquidity being built up in this zone. And you can say, well, we are also building this kind of triangle. Well, we know oftentimes when we see these kind of ideas of these constructions, these patterns that we draw with our eye, that we come up and do liquidity grabs, take out everyone's stops who are starting to build this as an entry point. Like I would never look to get an entry here. 22,350. Why 22,350? Just interested to know why that would be the case. Oh, you're long on BTC. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. Where are you long from? That's not a bad TP. That I like that actually. Yeah, it's right in the on that triangle. But I just think we'll probably come up and test this order block at some point. I don't know when it'll be, but I think we will come up and test this order block. 22,317. Do you mind telling me your process when you went? What? So this is for you, Mr. Beasts. Oh, VRB, sorry. What was your entry? What was your conditions? What was your rationale for putting a longer 22,317? I'm just keen to understand. So let me just have a little quick check at something real quick. 22,317. Two 317. It's kind of like this area here, isn't it? Yeah. Was it kind of based upon this order block here? This this higher volume candle. I don't know. I don't do much scalping for me. I tend to, yeah, I try to map things out a little bit, and I'm waiting for specific zones to be hit for me to be interested. So the way I look to trade is I'm first anticipating that we hit a zone, because a lot of this, the way I kind of look at Chan is I'm trying to not be the guy who hits my entry at these kind of specific levels, because yes, whilst we might bounce, specifically if you're going to have a really high leverage and you know 100x's and stuff like that, you don't get much of a buffer, let's just say. So I do a couple of things. I want to see how we react to the zone. Oh, nice little push to the upside there. I want to see how we react to the zone, and then what I want to do is, once we are past the point which I'm interested in, so if we pass, you know, these and we break out of these, well, I want to see how much people FOMO in and ape into the idea that it's a breakout, and then I want to see if we start to see trap traders. And what I mean by that is, on the footprint, is I want to start to see a build up, like you see in this build up here. So we start to see imbalances on the buy side, and what I'd be keen to see is if the move starts and you start to see aping in on this buy side. So these are these black, this is where you've got more than 250% volume between the buy and the sell, so it's diagonal. So these are the sell side and this is the buy side. So right now we're starting to see an imbalance. So you can see these much more buy side liquidity is being committed than sell side, which is an indication that people are aping in now and starting to throw money. You know, it's only 10 Bitcoin and 11 Bitcoin, but it's a massive difference, delta between the two. We can see we're starting to see a positive delta, 38 Bitcoin to the buy side. So we've got 92 Bitcoin in volume on this 15-minute candle, but we've got a higher proportion of that is to the buy side. So I want to see what we do on that, but we are starting to see a move to the upside. Let's see how we react. Well, that looks like you've got yourself a nice little trade there. Done well. Sniper. What's ETH doing right now? Let's have a look. These were I've done these a while ago. These are no longer valid. Look at that one though. So this is I drew these actually some time ago, and you can see the buy side liquidity came in. Obviously, when we had that candle, I don't know. People tell me it was this Silvergate, something to do with the FTX, but you can see I scale my entries, right? So I used Teal Street, so I would have scaled. I didn't do this, by the way, because this all happened while I was asleep, and so I'm not going to take credit for that, but you can see that this one would have been invalidated, so that would have been a lost trade. This one would have been invalidated because the candle was just, you know, a viper. But this one would have been perfect. I'd have got filled 100% of that scaled order, and then the reversal came back, and it probably came out back at this zone here. So that probably would have been a nice win, but I'd have probably got stopped out on this one, on that one. That's all part of the trade, though, isn't it? But these are no longer valid. It's no longer liquidity. That's no longer liquidity there. Just gonna get rid of these. I'm just marking these out really quick, so let's get rid of. Well, actually, I will leave that on, but again, similarly, I'm just gonna get rid of all of these. Second. In fact, let me just do this really quickly because this is going to take a long time. Remove the drawing. So let's just start again. So, same. Let's just get these marked out on ETH. Okay. Liquidity. liquidity. Yeah, we got liquidity there. Perfect. So these are the areas I'm interested in. Okay, now let's go to we're on the 1 hour. No obvious order blocks there for me. Not on the 1 hour. Not even on the 4 hour really. 2 hour, do we have anything? Yeah. So you can see we do have an order block here. Sorry for the silence, chaps. I'm just getting myself set up. Simple approach, doesn't have to be complex, just mapping out. And then what I'm looking to do, once I've mapped these out, is I'm then looking at how we react to these specific zones when we break them. Again, that could be footprint charts, could be, well, it's actually a mix of footprint charts and book map to see where we've got liquidity residing. Let's get back to BTC. Let's see, we're still pushing up. Yeah, what are we on here? Let's go back to the 15-minute. So again, interested in an order. If we come up to this order block here, that's my zonal entry, and I'll probably take profit when we come back down towards this zone here, this construction. Let's just say on ETH, what I'd be looking to do again. Let's just map out the ALM market maker ideas. I would probably say. Again, this is all subjective. No, let me get that off. I don't see anything there. If it's not obvious, just don't draw it. That's not obvious enough to me. It's not obvious. I don't think I have anything there that I would say is clear in terms of support and resistance. No, sorry, I'm just looking. No, I don't see anything there for me that's clear. So I would only really be interested in. Let's see what bookmap says on ETH real quick. Hang on. Right, ETH, bookmap, right. Come on, where's my chart gone? Just while that's loading, guys, I'm just gonna get back onto that because that's just taking too long. So we should see something anyway. We should see some form of a breakout. If I was market ordering now, again, I'd be looking couple of zones, just because we've had a few little data points for where I'd be interested in an order. And we're coming close, so a few more candles. We normally break that out before the end, could even be here. So it's tight though, isn't it? I mean, even if you were to take a nice snipe here, you're looking somewhere down here for your break. But to be completely honest, where I am right now, I wouldn't take this zone just because we've got an order block here. I could say that we'd probably come and take the liquidity out here, which it's fair to say would be a new liquidity line. Just but again, I could make a case here. You've got liquidity. Remember, we've got stop losses, and then the other element is you're going to have people trading the breakout. So you're going to have commitment of liquidity here. So I can see we could probably come in and reverse the action back down on these zones. So that's a solid plan as far as I can see. Hello, my friends. If you just joined, MNSTRS Jim. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here, guys. Okie dokie. So, what was your TP? Your TP was 22. Yeah, you're longing on BTC to 22,350. So, where's that? You came really close. Actually, did you TP? VR Beast, did you you will have got out of the TP there, right? From 22,317. Nice snipe, my friend. Very nice snipe. And I'm presuming now we're looking for a short, yeah? Where are you looking to short from? You're on a 5-minute chart. Let's have a look at the 5-minute. Let's get rid of that. You can see the daily value area high is up at 22,360. 22,360. That's interesting, isn't it? 22,395. I'm not. The value area high is for the day is actually at 22,360, right? So that's 70% of the total traded volume for today's session, right? So the 70% is the value area high is obviously the height of the total, 70% of that total range. So that's usually a psychological reversal point. So we shall see. I'm with you. I'm not going to be trading that 22,360, but I'd be keen to see how it reacts to that 22,360 zone, given that that's the value area high. But it wouldn't clear the liquidity here. It's interesting that it'd be just shy of the liquidity for this 5-minute candle here. 22,395. So you're actually going right for the liquidity line, yeah? Or just is that? Well, you'd just be below actually, wouldn't you? What do you tend to do in terms of your stop loss, or how do you just trade? What leverage do you tend to trade, and what would your stop loss be? When would you invalidate that move? Don't know if you guys are familiar with Teal Street, but this is this allows you to scale your entries. So I could say, I would want this to be my upper price, and that would be my lower price. So you could say, with Teal Street, it links directly to Bybit as well, which is what I like. Oh, sorry guys, let me just take the back a sec. So you could say, okay, well, I want my entry to be here at my low and my high to be at the top of the zone, let's just say. And then it would scale, and it can scale it either making it top heavy at the start or top heavy at the bottom, or just all flat or equal entries. And you can do that to like 10 orders or 20 orders, even 100 orders. Actually, you could put 100 orders as a scaled entry between here and here. Specifically if you're a reversal trader like me and you want to catch the point, or you want to try to scale in, so you don't want to have a fixed price at what you want to scale at, sorry, what you want to entry at, because you may just miss it, or you may get in too early and then you're slightly over committed. So by scaling, if you are reversing, and that's your ideas, because that's what I like to do. I like to reverse trade. I like to try to find the points where, let's just say, the majority of traders will try to get an entry at, and usually these are these kind of, these patterns that we tend to draw. Because I say this many times, you got to remember, when I guess new traders come into the trade and they think they're going to be millionaires and everything's going to be rosy, they start off with the most basic of ideas, which is usually support, resistance, and drawing these patterns and that kind of thing. And the problem with that is, in my opinion anyway, it's, whilst you may get a one or two of these touch points, you're always going to get, the market makers pushing price beyond those points, and then, price doesn't really go anywhere. It just grabs liquidity and then reverses back down. So I kind of look at this as my tick box number one. This is the point at which I'm now interested in a short, but I want to see the reaction. And again, I want to see if liquidity is getting committed. Usually if a lot of the liquidity gets committed past the point of a reversal, or sorry, a trend line, then it's good for a reversal. If not a lot of liquidity gets, or if there's not a lot of aping, and you tend to find that the price will continue to go up because there's not a lot of liquidity to be traded at a specific zone. So it's like, why do we want to have liquidity? Why is it important for liquidity? And why do we want to exchange? Well, obviously you guys will probably be well aware of the things like price impact and slippage. Like if I just go over to, where are we? If I shoot over to Bookmap, you can see, Bookmap's still acting a goal. Let me sort that out. Let me just get this sorted. Bookmap, there we go. Get rid of that. Don't know why Bookmap's just throwing a bit of a wobbler. But anyway, you're going to have liquidity at each of these price points, and obviously from liquidity's perspective, if liquidity is low, then the price impact is high, i.e., think of how much Bitcoin is sitting on any order book, whether it's Binance, Bybit, any of the exchanges. Here we go. Okay, let's see the interest. Is it going to break, or is it going to reverse? And our retail investors have got in nicely with a nice short. Let's see. Look at that, hit that to the absolute dollar accuracy. Fucking hell. Oh God, honestly, that's just bananas. Look at that. So right to the dollar accuracy of this trend line. But it wouldn't have, it would have seen commitment from orders there. You probably would have found, if my Bookmap wants to come and liven itself up, we'd have probably seen, actually I'll tell you what we can do. Let's go to, let's have a look at what the liquidity was like on, where are we here? On here, right? Let's see. When it came up for that, was there anything there? What do we, let's go to 5 minute. Can't really tell on that. But we are seeing a reversal and a nice rejection at that point. Damn, missed out on that one. I needed it to go into the zone. Brush up on my sniper skills. But that tagged that to the absolute dollar accuracy, that. But this is what happens, you see. So this kind of idea where we keep on seeing these. So the next time we come to this zone, it's all about commitment of liquidity each time, isn't it? Commitment that you're gonna, well, it's bounced here and it's bounced here and it's bounced here. Therefore, it'll bounce again, and you'll get, you know, this is exactly what these traps are for. Is for people to keep on getting to the point where we hit these zones, get a buy order or a sell order in to the point where the more and more liquidity keeps getting trapped. So now we'll have sellers trapped to the upside, to the top, and we'll have buyers trapped down here to the point where it break out. And really, it's just about, well, where's most liquidity trapped? Where's the volume been? So, like, looking at the volume, it's fuck all, isn't it? Really, there's not a lot of volume. Just trying to bring this up a little bit. But we've got nice volume here on this candle. So the way I would be approaching this is we've got commitments from this candle here. So from a bit of like volume spread analysis, yeah, we've got a nice candle raise up here. So let's have a look there. Nice commitment. And remember, we're only really focused on the ones that are at the top of these in terms of volume, right? At this stage, let me just go here. Bring that down as a little second. And then look, you see, so this one here, more volume. Let me just bring that down. That was a lot of volume, that one actually. So 1, 2, 3 touch points to the top side. Oh, for fuck's sake. And then to the bottom, let's see. Hard to count the first one really, because it was the initial candle that came and broke us down. So, you know, you're looking at this one for volume to the downside, and then we haven't had any further touch points, but we will mark this one off. So proportionally, you would say there's more volume trapped down here. Yeah, and if we look, we'll just check. We'll just go over to because I think there's an important point to dwell on. We'll just head to XO chart real quick, and let's just see if we have any trapped buyers, or sorry, trapped sellers to the downside, right? So let's just go zoom out to the 1 hour real quick. So that will have been this candle here. Yeah, you can see imbalances to the sell side, and then no one else was interested in selling at this point. So we've got some trap traders down here with commitment. You see, we've seen a big liquidation. Sorry, wrong one. Yeah, we've got more trapped here. So in terms of where we are, get back off that a minute. It looks to me like there's actually more volume trapped to the downside, even though we've had a couple of touch points to the top. There's a lot more volume in this spike and here than the 3 of these combined. So that tells me further breakdown. So more. Right now we might look. It would be easy to say this, of course, but right now we're looking like, you've got to think how the markets like to move, right? So it's always about liquidity. You know, liquidity is food for the markets. Let's be frank. You know, this idea that Bitcoin will just continue to go to the moon is not a good one to constantly think about, because the way markets move is they're always looking for easiest places to transact with minimum impact. So they don't want to. If you're a big player, if you want to trade mass amounts of money, then you don't want to be trading where liquidity is low again, because you get price impact. So I think that's it for now. I'm just kind of sitting on the sidelines. Missed out on that trade. That wasn't great, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I'm quite happy to not. I'd rather miss out on a trade than to hit a trade and get in on it. So let's just see how we go. I'll speak to you guys a bit later on. Happy trading, good luck, all that kind of stuff. I'll speak soon.